up
Brandon,
here.
you don't usually comment on many people's solos. So the fact that you did this week, I felt it might have been appropriate for you to elaborate on your on why you felt the need to do that.
Yeah, for sure. Let's have a look. So you guys can all see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah, so when I am going through the group, when there's a post that has a lot of attention, it gets my attention because I want to know why everybody's looking at it, why everybody's liking it, and why people are leaving comments. So when I found this post from Rick here, I think it had 8 likes or so, which is uncommon, right? Not a lot of posts are getting that amount of attention, right? So yeah, I wanted to have a look and read through the comments and see what people were saying and what they liked about it. And yeah, my favorite part was it happened 37 seconds in, and then it ended 54 seconds in, and we'll have a look. But yeah, we'll talk lots about it here. So let's see. And for anyone curious, if you don't already know, this was last week's weekly jam, which was just G, just a G chord. So you can be pretty open with what you do because it was just a G triad. So there's lots of scale options. Let's hear what Rick did. So first thing you notice is his tone, right? He's got some effect on. It sounds like crazy.
Sounds like you're Jewish, doesn't it?
What was
The
that?
edge. Well, it's probably not his intention, but the edge from you too. He has this unique sound. It's more 80-ish.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't
definitely.
know.
And it almost sounds like an octave effect. I'm not sure what he's using, but he's playing these notes, and yeah, it's almost like more than one note is sounding. But anyway, so that was the first thing I noticed that was different about it. So that what he just played was a nice little melody, right? It was very intentional. And sometimes when we improvise, it's really easy to forget about being intentional. Sometimes we just try to play as many notes as possible, right? And we let our fingers do the work and we go on autopilot. And autopilot is the antithesis of playing intentional, right? Anyway, so that was a nice little melody. So he's done this twice now. He's letting notes ring out. He just let that open G string ring out. And when he played that intro riff thing, like, I'm not sure what it was exactly, but it was something like that. And then he let the notes ring out. He resolved his line, in other words, right? So resolving your line, letting the music breathe, always a good thing. And yeah, this section here is my favorite part of the entire track because it's just a cool melody. Yeah, and then I think he actually probably could have let that G that he resolved to ring out for a little longer on the 12th fret. Like that note. I think that would have sounded pretty nice. But, you know, as guitar players, sometimes it's easy to just keep playing. But yeah, so let's go back a little bit. So he's playing some chords in there, like just different G triads. Right? Which works, you know, it's like he's playing shots, you know, like those like it works pretty well, especially coming out of something like what he just played, right? Because he was playing a melody and then playing these chords was a nice contrast. So coming out of the melody here, done. Oh, it's done there, okay? And then he just tops it off with that chord, which is just a G triad, and it sounds good. Another G triad. Something that he's doing a lot of as well is he's adding C. Which over a G, it's like it's creating that suspended sort of sound, because if you think like that's the 4, right? Oh, sorry. Right? So it's like this tension and release that he's doing a lot. Going to the C and then releasing to the B. Yep.
Yeah, I was wondering if he, you notice he had a little smile after he did that one set of notes. I was wondering because I think that's from the intro to the live version of Lou Reed, Sweet Jane, and I seem to recall they have like a 7-minute version where they do like 5 minutes of it is like this big build up to Sweet Jane, and I'm pretty sure that's the exact same sequence. So I don't know. But, most of my stuff, I still stuff other people too. So it's not like it's a bad thing.
Oh, absolutely not. It's a good thing. Cool. Yeah, I was not aware of that. All right, let's keep going. So he's going back to those triads, well, those, sounds like almost like he put the C on top of that again. He might have done it for the triad up here as well, like. So I'll roast him a little bit for that. Like that, it was cool that he did that line, but it wasn't rhythmically perfect, right? Like it doesn't have to be perfect, but rhythmically it was not tight, right? So I mean, these things happen, right? emotion.
Nice.
Yeah, lots of emotion in that performance. It really seemed like he was having a fun time, which translates, when you're enjoying what you're playing, it comes out in your playing. So yeah, it was a good performance, fun to watch.
And then the big thing was that, it was kind of hard to escape the fact that you were riffing on a single chord for 2.5 minutes. And in Rick and a few other guys, Ryan Clenny, who comes to mind, just managed to engage musically, so impressively that you just kind of forgot that it's a single G chord the entire time. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, they created, well, I didn't check out the other guys, but yeah, he created a lot of movement, right? And he built the solo and like made a song out of it, right? And over one chord, I mean, that could be, I guess we could have a philosophical discussion as to whether or not that's an easy thing to do or a hard thing to do. But yeah, he did a good job with it. And yeah, I mean, one chord, I think the benefits of improvising over tracks that are one chord as well is, especially if you're familiar with the key. This is the key of G. This is a guitar key, right? A lot of people are pretty familiar with the key of G. Seems like Rick was pretty familiar. He was everywhere on the fretboard, right? But when you're not so concerned about playing the right scales or targeting the right notes, I mean, he had 3 notes that, if he played any of those 3 notes, they were going to sound really, really good. But they weren't changing, so it's a lot less to keep track of, right? So yeah, I mean, it's definitely freeing when you don't have to have all these other things that you're thinking about, and then you're just thinking too much, and then you spend your whole improvisation video just thinking, and nothing really comes out because, it's like a paralysis by analysis sort of thing, right? So that's another thing that I think contributed to the performance sounding good. But, Rick tends to, he tends to put in the work for all of his weekly jams, so.
Yeah, he does.